Hello to all our magical listeners. We are Marie and Kate. Together, we love to chat about mindful magic. Mindful magic is intentionally, mindfully traveling through each day, each task, every little mundane thing you need to do with a magical mindset. Let's get magical and start this episode. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hey.
Lauren. Welcome.
Lauren.
Thank you, guys.
I'm so excited to have you on. It's been a while. I know last week we had technical difficulties, but we are here now, and I'm just so excited to chat with you. For our listeners, so Lauren Scott, she's author of Achieving Harmony, Exploring the Benefits of Energetic Healing in Everyday Life, and she's the host of Get Enlightened podcast, which I love. Lauren has had me on her podcast twice, so if you haven't listened to it and you're not following her, you definitely need to check that out.
Well,
so, Lauren, what inspired you to write your book, Achieving Harmony?
You. So actually 8 years ago when I kind of stepped into doing, I did the first yoga studio in my small town and bought a crystal store and brought it down. They didn't have anything like that out here. I live in a small southern Texas town. So I'd had a dream and I wanted to not have to drive 45 minutes to go to yoga. So before that, I had worked for the NFL and NBA doing events and then traveling, doing international charity and speaking to Congress for foreign aid. And so all that time I met so many interesting people. So people were always like, hey, why don't you write a book? But when I got the book deal offered to me, I was in the middle of opening up a wellness center. And so that was my main focus. You know what I mean? Then when I sold out right before COVID and just retired and did the mom life and started my own practice, I was like, hey, maybe I should actually do this book thing. Now I have the time, let's do it. And I kept getting signs to do it, but I had, what is that called when you're afraid to share your voice? Imposter syndrome.
A black throat chakra?
A blocked throat chakra, all of the above. And you were speaking to me on TikTok, girl, and I connected with you on TikTok. You did a reading for me that basically literally was write the damn book, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I sat down and channeled all through Christmas and busted it out after 8 years of trying to figure out what I was going to do. I just stood back and did it.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I know that came up when I was on your podcast. I did a reading for you at the end, and there's actually a woman in spirit that was there pushing you and helping you.
Bonnie, yes.
So I love that your spirit team, your guide came through. I would consider her a guide for you now.
Oh, for sure. And you know what's so interesting about it is I didn't know you when you were doing my reading, and I hadn't given you a lot. This says a lot about her. So go get a reading from Kate, because I did not share much with you at all. And you told me everything I needed to know without any backstory. And that, I think, is incredible on itself. And so I actually shouted you out of the book because you were one of the very few people on this side that was like, this is the message that I needed to hear. You were used for that. So thank you very much for that.
And I'm proud of you for doing it. And I feel like I always tell everyone, I feel like I'm a magnet for authors, people that should write books. I feel like I'm always pushing people to write books. I'm really glad that you did it. And I love your book.
You took the scariness out of it. I think when you sit down and you put so much thought into it, you freak yourself out. And you were literally just channel, just sit down and free write, which is something I hadn't tried in 8 years. And so when that happened, it was exactly what I needed to hear. So I strongly agree that I think you are very good at pushing people in that line of work.
Yeah, thank you.
It's like you have a gift or something.
It's like I have ESPN or something.
ESPN. Kate is so good at her, just listening to her intuition. And Kate, you've developed it in such a way that you've you've become fearless, because it's proven over and over and over to you in your life that you listen to your gut and those urgings and nudgings. And so you're able to, by experience, by your own trial and error, share that with people. And that's so valuable because, right, Lauren,
Mhm.
it is scary to put yourself out there.
Yeah,
And it's
it
still
is.
hard, you know, to trust your own gut. Like, especially for myself, I can read others, but for reading myself, I like to go get readings. Like Mariah, she just gave me one. So, so yeah. How did your spiritual guidance support you during that process? Because you were saying you channeled it, you were doing the writing. Like, how did they support you?
So I like went to a cabin that our family uses. We went for 2 weeks up to the mountains, and it was snowing. It was like Christmas time, and I drank some hot tea and would get into like a meditative state before and just free wrote. So that was all spirit team, and like there's stuff in there that yeah, I just free wrote. Like that's all I can say. I don't even really know because, like I said, for 8 years I felt like just completely blocked, and now I'm like, oh, let's do another one. You know?
Isn't it crazy when you push through something, but you didn't realize you pushed through it? Like, what was in the way? What, like, why did I stop? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like, you just realize that you pushed through something. So I
it's
think that
crazy.
for other questions, you already answered those. So how it came through, you know, the channeling and that inner knowing.
Yeah.
So I'll let Marie go too, ask some questions.
Yeah, Lauren, I just wanted to ask you about your book cover. It's like a dream. You know, it's
Oh,
beautiful. I love it.
thanks.
So, can you tell us, and Kate's, can you hold it up again, Kate?
Yes.
It's just, I
You're
love it.
Thank
making
you,
like
guys.
like Atlantis, like the Lemurian energy.
Yeah. So, can
So
you tell
my
us about
my
the
wellness studio, I had the Hamza. I use the Hamza for a lot of things. Like it's kind of something I've used since I was a child for protection. So it was always big on me. And I had something similar, but when I wanted to do my book, I wanted to do something that was kind of freeing. So there's nothing more freeing for me and something the element that I work mostly with, which is water. I'm a Cancer rising, so it goes hand in hand. And so the my logo from the yoga studio, along with my logo from my own, and then adding the water aspect and just me in the middle was I put it into AI and that's what it came up with. And I was like, yes, I've never really used AI before. I loved it. So yeah, it was perfect. And then I think for like 5 days I was going back and forth on Kate. I'm like, how do I put this on the book? Like, how do I get this from this? But yeah, it captured everything that I wanted, which was the serenity, like the achieving the harmony inside and out, and then the calmness, because I think that's the biggest part is like learning to actually have harmony, you know?
Right. And the book cover definitely translates all of that beautifully. And
Yeah.
speaking of harmony, what does harmony mean to you on a personal level? And also, what are some of the things that you personally do to keep yourself grounded and in harmony?
Oof, constantly grounding for sure. Cause my head, like, I'm like a butterfly everywhere.
We're both like that
So,
too.
yeah. Harmony itself, I would say peace, right? Like just calm, being able to learn the difference of the different energies that you're actually feeling and when they're yours and when they're not. You know, that was my biggest lesson I've had to learn in my spiritual awakening, and just being able to teach is separating my energy from the energy I pick up. And so I think that in the book itself, I really wanted to share that it's not a guru that needs to teach us things, that we can, you know, everybody has this ability to achieve the harmony, and it's learning how to use different tools to your advantage and what resonates with you. Like I give a whole lot of different things that you can do in here, and actually a lot of the things that I do, I personally do daily. You know, like I do a card pull daily. As soon as I wake up, it's no phones for like an hour, hour and a half. I get my meditation and my hot tea. Movement is really big for me. I have to ground in the morning and then clear at night. And so that's kind of what achieving harmony was for me. And that's the reason why I wanted to share it. But yeah.
And speaking of movements, I'm wondering if you can explain to some of our listeners and viewers the something I think we all probably could use some more of is somatic movements.
Yes, no, somatic movement is just movement in your body that moves the energy. So it things like yoga, tai chi, dancing. I know in some spiritual circles they do ecstatic dance, grounding. Those are all things that you can do for somatic movement. It's just how like I said, what resonates with you. I'm really big on yoga and grounding. Well, in dance, I like to kind of shake it out, like I will turn on a Taylor Swift song and shake that energy right on out.
Dahlia and I do intuitive movement, my daughter, in the kitchen, and it is so funny the moves that we just bust out, like from our intuition. Like we'll have music playing really loud. We call it setting a vibe. Like let's set the vibe, and it's always movement, and it's something that I would never want anyone else to witness. But it's fun, and just moving your body the way you feel it needs to move. That's how we do it.
Yeah, you have to.
Kate, I told how if you guys watch Seinfeld and like how Elaine dances, those like I'm just totally picturing you dancing.
Pretty much.
I love it.
I know I probably look like a crazy person to my neighbors sometimes because I'll be out there and I'll be skipping like okay, what kind of energy do I want today? And that's kind of how I started,
Yeah. It's so fun though. Skipping.
It is, and it's so healing for your inner child. Like so healing. I don't think people understand that movement releases all stored trauma in your body too, like breathings, doing the diaphragm breathing while you're doing the movement. I mean, exceptional.
Yeah. I feel like we're new in our neighborhood, and I'm like, they're just now starting to understand that the lady next door is not like they are, because like I'm talking to the squirrels, I'm talking to my plants outside, walking barefoot and talking to the grass. Like I know they watch because like we have no privacy right here. So I love it though.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No. So, Lauren, for someone just starting out with energy work, what are a few simple ways that they can begin using it in their everyday routine?
Oh, I love that question. Protection's a big thing. Bubbling up. I call it bubbling up, or I used to zip my kiddo up, when I was teaching him when he was like 3, we'd be like, zip up your energy to guide and protect. Let's see, what else? Using a pendulum, going over your chakras, that's always a good one. Yeah.
I love that.
Just feeling, learning to feel the difference. Like use your breath and go over your body and just feel like what the little movements that happen, or, the tingles that you get. Just learning to tap into that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I would say. Important, point for all of us to kind of piggyback onto that is something you mentioned earlier, Lauren, is trying to decipher what's yours and what isn't. If you're feeling kind of crappy for no reason, you got to sit and think like, is this my stuff, or is what is affecting me, and just send it back. I was a paramedic for a long time. And so I was constantly bombarded by everything. And I had to get really good at that. It affects your sleep, it affects your health, just your balance in general,
Mm-hmm. And I don't think people really understand. I think it's becoming not a taboo subject, but it has been such a taboo subject for so long, of understanding our energy, right? Of understanding other people's energy. And now with TikTok, I feel it's kind of something that we talk about, but for a long time it's not, and that is an important step. And the first step really should be learning how to decipher your energy and then learning how to protect it, right? Like, of any kind of energy work. So yeah, it's been interesting because I have been doing this since I was a child. I was very sensitive as a child. And so my mom took me to yoga and started meditation at the age of like 7 to 9 with me. And something that I did with my child. And so I just thought that everybody did that until I opened up my wellness studios and realized that no, not everybody does do that, and how tired people are because they're picking up everybody else's energy.
Right. And speaking of that, so maybe for our viewers and listeners, what are some of the signs that someone's energy might be out of balance? Something that they can kind of tune into, and then what are some really gentle ways that they can start beginning to shift that energy, gently, especially if they're starting out?
Well, if you start losing things or you go from being happy and all of a sudden you're really crabby or really upset, that's usually taking on somebody else's energy or the energy of the room. And vice versa, from going very sad to very happy. It works both ways. I have a selenite wand. I use this all the time. Like I always tell people, if you feel any kind of ickiness or just you need I call it an energetic picker-upper, selenite wand. You don't have to worry about, they cleanse themselves. It's not like there's a how-to on what to do, but these stay cleansed all the time, and they can pick up a lot of energy. And it's amazing how just using a selenite wand or just the intent of clearing your energy with smoke or Epsom salt bath works. And then bubble up and you'll see the difference, right? Like it's insane. But yeah, so those are kind of the things that I do. I love my baths, my Epsom salt baths at night.
Yeah. I love how you say bubble. You said bubbling up.
Yes.
I love that. I love it. I wanted to add to that too about understanding how you're out of balance. Lately, my guides have been doing the left and right side. So it's the feminine side on the left, or it's the right. Am I needing to act? Am I not acting? Am I needing self-care? Am I needing to create? They've been giving me sensations on my left or right side to help me distinguish, to help me get back into balance.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so like
that's
if you tell your guys,
I kind of like want to start
feminine, right side is, and you just get like stiff. I get like different, not really pain, but I'll get like spasms or pressure a little bit on whatever side it is.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to start trying that one because I haven't really, dug into the feminine, masculine. I probably should. Another thing.
Yeah, so it's just started. I just started doing that, and I wanted to add to that about understanding the shifts and where you need to act and where you need to pull back. But with that being said, what does your own personal energy or self-care practice look like? And you just showed us a tool that you use regularly. Is there anything else that you use?
I would love to show you on my whole room. So I have a yoga trapeze. I like to get on that and flip upside down. I have sound bowls. I like to use those when I'm clearing our connection. And then meditation.
Oh,
my pendulum.
Trapeze. That sounds like so much
I know.
fun.
I mean, just hanging upside down to sort of just decompress your physical body is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like I said, when we were talking about the somatic movement, your hips hold so much energy. And just aligning that back and releasing it, girl, that's like a clearing in its own.
Wow. I never would have thought of something like that. Next goal on my list. To get I don't know where I'm going to put it.
I don't know if you will ever be able to get on it because I feel like the kids will be constantly in it. Like, you'll have to knock that thing up.
I'd be like, use it with intention.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, Lauren, I'd really like to ask you about your podcast, Get Enlightened. What made you start it?
Well, okay, so when I was bored, girl. My son was in school. I'm like, this retired mom life is fun and all, but I got to do something for fun and joy. And I like sharing people's stories. And so, like I had said before, my life has been not normal at all. And so I've met so many interesting people that aren't always famous, but have incredible backstories or like incredible entrepreneurial stories. And we just didn't have that. We did not have that anywhere. And so I started getting in line with Lauren Scott to bring some positivity to do with people that you don't always see in the press, but are just as amazing in their own rights, like y'all. And and just sharing stories of people that I met along my journey and things that I've found, because I've found that my journey was just nothing but a huge stepping stone to wherever next you're going, and they all kind of build on each other. So it's kind of like my way of giving back. So people can share their stuff too. And it puts positive in the media, which is something that we just don't have anymore. We're always hearing the negative and the bullshit, excuse my language, but but you know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to bring joy. So when I turned 40 and literally sold my studio and crystal store weeks before COVID hit, and promised myself I wasn't going to do anything that didn't bring me joy. And here we are, 3rd year in doing the podcast, and ooh.
Wow, that's exciting. We're gonna definitely link it with this.
Thank you.
And so with somebody who, since you've been doing it for 3 years, and it takes courage to start that because you're putting yourself out there. Kate and I had to go through that. But what advice would you give someone who wants to start a podcast?
Just do it.
You said that to me.
Just do it. Like,
she said that to me. Oops, sorry.
I think it's the best advice that I got was from a friend of mine. And I was so upset because I had done this podcast with the sheriff and I loved him and I wanted to share his story. And we had served together on some boards for like 8 years. And I went to his office, I did it, and then the media was kind of messed up, right? My very first podcast. So I've done all the marketing to put it out, and the media's a little messed up, and I'm like crying because you can't really grasp it again. You know what I mean? Like the first one. And my friend looked me in the eye and he was like, just do it. Just put it out. What do you say if somebody says something negative? Where's your podcast? You know what I mean? Like where's your book? You know what I mean? Like, why are we so afraid to do these things? Why do we have this fear of bad press behind keyboard warriors? Like, nah.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to worry about that. So, like Kate, when she was talking, I think it was the week before y'all were going live, and yes, and you said, I am so nervous. I'm like, girl, don't be nervous, just do it. And it is amazing, isn't it? Aren't y'all having so much fun with this?
I did, and it totally changed my perspective because you just basically said, don't big deal it, just do it.
No, I think when you start overthinking things, that's when we block ourselves. Just do it. Everything that has worked out for me has been one of those weird plans of just doing it. So that's what I would definitely tell somebody who wants to start.
And one more question on that. What do you think in the episodes that you've done so far, which one has had the most impact on you?
They're all so different.
I know that's a hard question.
That's a really hard question. Gosh, ladies. Okay.
Don't overthink
I don't know because there's so many people's life stories and they're just so different that I don't know if I could say the most impactful because they're impactful in their own ways. I thought a really cool one was my friend JoJo, who was talking about becoming famous really young on Vine, before there was an influencer world, when it was just starting out, and how he was going down this path and it wasn't that positive and he wasn't sure what he was going to do with his life. And he had a really cool angel experience where he picked up a guy hitchhiking in LA. Who would do that? We don't know. who gave him a message, kind of like Kate gave me, of like, this is your next step. Like, this is what I mean, basically the guy channeled to him right there while he was driving. And now he's a famous producer. So it was, yeah. And it was like learning how to go from that influencer at 17 to your late 20s, early 30s is like, you know, husband, father, producer. LA world is hard out there, you know. So that would probably be one of the coolest experiences that I've heard. I mean, but then also my friend who like sold his janitorial company at 29 and opened up the Dominican Treehouse Village, like insane.
Wow.
So there's just so many that like have come and shared their stories that I don't know how to pick the best one. I think they're all good.
How we feel too. And you know, there's so many more to do. And it's just, I think that's, you know, Kate and I wanted to start this one because we have something to say. And if there's anybody who wants to hear it, they can tune in. Otherwise, we want to express, we want to talk about our favorite subjects. And, you know, we get to do this and we feel blessed and we love it. We're going to keep going with it.
Yeah.
I know in the podcast world, everybody's so kind. Like I haven't done a lot of reaching out to people to be on, except unless they're like friends of mine. Kate was one of my very first people that I had met, and she did the reading. I'm like, okay, you're gonna have to get on this. Like you are the same kind of soul. But you know, I haven't reached out, and I've just now started in season 3 because I'm just now venturing out into the video. Y'all are way above me. Like I've done 2 years of being behind the scenes where nobody can see me. This is a whole this video is a whole nother element, but it's just so exciting. And I think it's probably the least dramatized business that I've ever worked in. It's just fun. Everybody's having a good time. There's not a lot of like competition energy or anything, you know, everybody just kind of shares their stuff. And I think that's amazing. And you pull in who you're supposed to pull in, right? Like with your books and with your voice, just in general, you're pulling in the right people that are aligned with you. One of my favorite things is watching how many countries. Do y'all have that on your statistics of how many countries are listening?
Yes.
That's the coolest part.
Yeah. It is so much fun.
Yeah.
It's just so cool. Like, y'all really want to hear me talk? I don't understand.
You know, as far as like you said, you were behind the scenes. So Kate and I used to, and we still do, you know, we'll record, but editing is a whole other animal. So we found that with going live just takes that element out. If you misspeak or you know, you have to correct yourself, who cares? You know, but before when we were editing, it's like, oh, I got to take out that part. And it's like, you know, trying to produce this perfect little package. And this just feels like way more real. And we like this. And I don't have to edit, you know.
Exactly.
No, so if you want to, you should start going live. Just
yeah, you glow. You should.
Well, y'all busted that bubble, so let's do it.
Bubble bursters. So, Lauren, who's your target audience? So, who do you feel your podcast and your book are meant to support? Like, who's the person you hope finds your work at the right moment?
Anybody that feels alone, really, that feels like they don't have a connection with anybody, and people that are trying to achieve that harmony and just don't know where really to start. But I also think it's good for people that it kind of brings you back to the basics too. The book it's kind of like a how-to. So I think it's also good for those of us that have been doing it for a long time to sometimes go back to the basics, because sometimes it's a little overwhelming of what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it, you know? So I would say that.
Yeah.
So one thing that when we started this, that we kind of prepped ourselves for the just in case, you know, you worry about the negativity if there's trolls or comments, or anything like that. We really haven't had that. And even if we do, we decided early on that we're not going to take that on, not even going to give it any energy. But um but we've had positive feedback. And so I'm wondering, in your podcast, what kind of feedback do you get? And have you ever gotten something from somebody that's just really moved you?
I've had a few people say that the podcast and the book has helped them move past places that they never thought they could, which I think that's amazing. People that have said that they don't feel alone. I do a lot of parenting. I talk with my friend Paige on the podcast a lot. We call it porch time for Paige, and it's just kind of like our little like y'all back and forth. You know what I mean? And we talk everything from politics to parenting, and that's probably the most moving, is just to hear that people like it hits them where we're intending it to, I guess. I kind of turn off a lot of the comments and stuff like that, because whatever. I just want to do fun things. I just want positivity. But I haven't had any negative feedback. It has all been beautiful, and I think a lot of people are really interested in people's life stories. The one thing that I will say is, one of my friends listened to it, and she said that the way that I helped people open up and like actually feel comfortable to tell their stories made her feel comfortable to share hers. So I think that is one of the best things that I could probably hear in it, because we're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a comment just now from Midnight Wisdom that sometimes more of the real comes through the live, and that's so true, because we're not editing it out. This is right. So I like that aspect. Thank you for the comment.
Yes, thank you.
I've been enjoying this so much that I forgot we were live, even though we're talking about it. You're like, we have a comment. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't even looked. I don't even have it open.
I forgot we're live too, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Oh, so
I get scared with all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm not even looking at myself live, so I forgot. So maybe that's a good tip.
Don't think about it. Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. That needs to be a shirt. Oh, wait, I think it already is, isn't it? That's a Nike logo. I stole that logo from somebody, but it's fine.
And I want to mention too, Lauren, that I think another that was standing out to me, what I love about your podcast, not just being on it, but you're such a great listener, and you have such a beautiful soul that I feel like you're just very genuine and authentic in it. And so whatever you say, people trust what you say is true to your heart. Like, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so thank you. That's the kindest thing that you could say. Thank you.
When we were on your podcast, it was just like we had a fun conversation. It didn't even feel like it was 45 minutes. So I really wanted you to know that, the live thing, if you want to go live more, you should absolutely do it.
I'm going to do it.
Face at the same time, it's just awesome.
Well, thank you. This is my sign. Y'all are giving me signs too, ladies.
My crown is tingling. So how has working on your book and podcast shaped you personally or changed the way you see things?
I don't know if it's really changed the way I see things. I would say that it has helped me grow without having to worry that, like, am I doing it right? I had a really tough time. Like I like to second guess myself. Don't we all, right? So now it's kind of stepping out of my own way and just saying it. And, once we say it, it's out there. It's not like there is no going back. I don't edit either. I do one and done on my podcast. And so, yeah, same way in the sense that, there is no going back. I like to be, I just am who I am. So maybe it has helped me grow a little bit more and open up to just being more comfortable with who I am and how I'm sharing things. Oh, there you go.
I love that.
That's a good answer.
And I feel like when you allow yourself to really express yourself and create, that you realize that you're capable of so much more. Like, oh, what else am I going to create? Like, I feel like with every step you take that's authentic and you're open and you're not afraid, it just keeps leading you to more and more and bigger and better things. Does that make sense? Like,
Oh,
like
105%.
if I'm holding myself back right now, which sometimes I do, I'm like, what else am I holding myself back from? Because that's probably going to take me somewhere.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
yeah.
now I'm inspired to just push myself more, to not be afraid.
Yeah.
You know, that really works in with did you see the comment that came through? If you can read that, it's so true.
Yes. What's it on, Marie? Oh, I'll go to Riverside. I don't think I can see it on my end.
Okay.
I'll try to get on and see it though.
Yeah, I can read it. It's another one from Midnight Wisdom. Thank you. It says, I find that most people do not share stories because of the fear of others, not caring about why it's being told. And, and that's it exactly, is but I think it's like, in a way, you have to be the one who doesn't care what the outcome is, right? You just put it out there, and if it hits with somebody or lands, then it does, and it's going to be the right person. And if it doesn't, then that's okay too.
That.
We have Ryan saying Lauren is a rock star. Ryan.
Thank you. Thanks, Ryan.
So, Lauren, let's if you could leave our listeners with just one message from your heart today, what would you leave them with?
To flow with the times, to know everything's going to be okay, and to realize that we are the ones that can create what we want.
Cheers.
Oh my God, I hope my cat, he just got the zoomies really bad. I hope he doesn't.
Oh, and I'm shaking.
That was a good message because it affected my cat.
Yeah.
Your cat said, exclamation point.
That's right.
So, Lauren, thank you so much for being on our podcast. This was awesome. We're going to have to do it again.
Oh my gosh, y'all are a blast.
Yes.
Both of y'all need to get on ours, on mine.
That'd be so fun, of course.
So much fun. And thank you to all of the listeners too, because y'all have made this live experience so much better than I when you even asked earlier, do you want to do it on video? And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I even washed my hair for y'all.
You ripped the Band-Aid off. So how can people find your book, your podcast? Where can people find you and follow you?
You can follow, Instagram at Get Enlightened Podcast, I think is what it is.
Get Enlightened Podcast.
Get Enlightened with Lauren Scott streams on all platforms, so you can listen to that. I will go back for season 3 starts when my kids go back to school. I take the summers off to be with my family. We travel and have some fun. So we will be going back probably mid-August, end of August for season 3. I will be doing video. Get Enlightened with Lauren Scott is on. Oh, I have a YouTube channel. It just has my podcast right now, but that's one of the things that we're reaching out to. And then Amazon, Barnes and Noble, or TikTok for the book. So yeah, out there. And
just because you take the summer off to be with your kids, you can still post and just call them reruns. Start from the beginning and show your favorite episodes over the summer.
That's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. To keep the algorithm going, that would be great. Because I do have to, once you take a break, you have to kind of rebuild the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
If you go more than 30 days. But that's a good idea. Maybe I'll do a little rerun.
Yeah.
That would mean I have to sit down and figure out how to do that, but we can get it done.
For TikTok, Lauren, you just go to there's some days where I don't want to do TikToks, and you can go to your memories of that day or scroll to a favorite one and just repost it.
Oh.
And you can download it on your phone and upload it to Instagram.
Y'all are so good. That's a good idea. I'm gonna have to get with y'all afterwards, like off of camera, just talking about how to do all the marketing stuff. I've done it so easily, and I got rid of Facebook when I sold out my studios, like in 2020, and I just refused to get back on there. So it's just been like, here it is.
I love it.
Easy.
Thank you again, Lauren, for being here. Oh, go ahead. What else? You were going to say something. Did I interrupt you?
Me? No.
Oh, but thank you again for being on. And yeah, so we'll probably be on yours next.
Absolutely, ladies. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Get enlightened, y'all. Stay on with us and we'll finish uploading, but we'll be live soon again. So follow us at Mindful Magic Podcast on all the platforms and on our YouTube channel.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Okay, I stopped.